Dear students, welcome to virtual class of Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai. I am Sreekumar. The class is for 6th standard students. Subject is mathematics. Let us begin the class.
Dear students, we are starting a new chapter. The name of the chapter is ratio proportion. The chapter and the terms are new for you, but it is talking about the relationship between numbers. For example, here he is telling us that I am younger than Nilima by 6 years. By saying so, what he is trying to say, he is saying that connection between his age and Nilima's age. And what Nilima is telling, I am twice as old as Ramesh. What she is trying to say, how his age is in relationship with Ramesh's age. Both of them are talking or they are comparing about their ages. So this way we have a methodology by which we can compare. Just by saying that I am younger than Nilima by 6 years, it is a matter of subtraction or addition. When Nilima said I am twice as old as Ramesh, it is a matter of multiplication or division. Understood? If you divide Nilima's age by 2, you will be getting Ramesh's age, or if you multiply Ramesh's age by 2, you will be getting Nilima's age. So my dear students, what actually these things are telling us? These are telling us about the relationship between two numbers. We can show the relationship between two numbers, especially in this case what she said, I am twice as old as Ramesh. Last chapter was on equation. Suppose that Ramesh's age is equal to x, then you will say that Nilima's age will be 2 into x, because Nilima said twice that of Ramesh. So we could write it, but we don't know exactly what is Ramesh's age is. But we know the relationship now. This is one way you learned in the last chapter. The other way is, if Ramesh is 1 year old, then Nilima will be 2 years old. The ratio or the relationship is 1:2. 1:2. This is read as is 2. You can say if Ramesh's age is 2, 2 times of it, 4 will be Nilima's age. That proportion is maintained. I used the word proportion. This way, expressing the relationship between two numbers is called proportion. Okay, the same proportion can be expressed if we are representing Ramesh's age and Nilima's age in the form of a fraction like 1, then it is 2. If it is 2, it is 4. This way of representing in fraction format, 1 upon other, we call that representation as a ratio form. So this is what is your chapter, representing numbers and their relation in the form of ratio, in the form of proportion. Whenever we say ratio, we'll represent like this. Whenever we say proportion, we'll represent like this. It is actually conveying us the relationship between two numbers. Understood, my dear student? That is a chapter all about. And very simple examples will be helping you to understand this better. Okay, let us go ahead. In mathematics, the proportion of two numbers can also be expressed as their ratio. That is what I showed. The proportion is 2:1, ratio is 2 upon 1. Okay, so that thing is there. It happened in the case of our Ramesh and Nilima also. There are various other situations where you can use ratio and proportion. Here is Janagi Amma. Janagi Amma's idlis and doshas are delicious. बहुत अच्छा idli dosha का बनाते हैं. For idlis she uses udad dal and rice in the proportion 1 cup dal, 2 cup rice. 1 cup dal, 2 cup rice. That is a proportion for her idlis. But for doshas, she used 1 cup dal, here 1 cup dal, again 1 cup dal, and 3 cup rice. This is for dosha. So now we got a idea about the ratio is 1:2. This is dal and this is rice for idli, and 1:3 for dosha. In the form of ratio, proportion we will write like this. In the form of ratio, we will write 1/2 and 1/3. Understood? So this is a method of understanding the relationship between two data. Margaret makes great biscuits. She uses 3 cups of wheat, 3 cup wheat, and 3 cup wheat flour, and with 2 cups sugar. आटा को wheat flour बोलते हैं, और 2 cups sugar. So 3:2 is the proportion, 3/2 is the ratio. Flowers are distributed among the girls in equal proportion. Proportion maintain किया. Fill the empty boxes. 3 girls, 12 flowers. So 3:12. If you make 1:4, 1 girl 4, that is why 3 girls 12. So 5 will be into 4, which is equal to 20. If there are 32 divided by 4, it will be 8, 1 into 4. So we got that proportion is maintained. Understood? So ratio and proportion is a way of representing the relationship between two data. What is this? Nikhil brought 12 guas and 16 chickus. 12 guas and 16 chickus. Find the ratio of guas to chickus. Find the ratio of chickus to guas. Very good. ये भी आपको समझना बहुत जरूरी है. निखिल ने क्या क्या लाया है? 12 guas Peru and 16 chicus. So the question is, find the ratio of guas to chicus. Guas to chiku. So gua का पहले लिखना पड़ेगा 12 and 16. Is there any common divisor for this? Yes. You can divide both with 4. This will become 3 4s are 12. 3:4 is a simple ratio of guas to chicus, or proportion, and the ratio is 3/4. And if it is chicus to guas, the ratio will change. You will write 16:12 in proportion. If you make it into the smallest possible, it will be 4:3 in proportion, 4/3 in the format of ratio. Understood? So this way we can convert or understand ratio and proportion. Ratio and proportion are of great use in certain situations. Here is some important point about ratio. When finding the ratio of two quantities of the same kind, their measures must be of same unit. What is it? Their measures must be of same unit. इससे क्या समझ में आया? अभी समझ में आएगा. The weight of the large block of jaggery is 1 kilogram. ये 1 kg का है. अगर इसमें से एक छोटा सा टुकड़ा, ये भी जैगरी है, समझ लो, ये भी जैगरी है, small piece which weighs 200 gram. So 200 gram एक छोटा सा टुकड़ा है. 1 kg the biggest big lump. Okay, comparatively. And you are asked to find out the ratio of the weight of the lump of jaggery to that of the block. You are asked to find out the lump of jaggery and the block of jaggery. Block is quite big. Lump is quite small. And we have a measure here. The block is of 1 kilogram, lump is of 200 gram. So that by number 200 is big, but the other one is 1. But by unit, this is kilogram, this is gram. This is what is meant by the quantities of same kind. Their measures must be of same unit. So how to convert? 1 kilogram can be converted into gram to compare, or 200 gram can be converted into kilogram to compare. We are comparing the weight over, comparing the numbers. But while comparing, both should be of same unit. The easiest thing is you can just convert 1 kilogram by converting it into gram, which is equal to 1000 gram. So the ratio or the proportion will be written in such a way that 1000 gram and 200 gram. This will be the ratio. If you cancel the zeros, you will be getting 10 upon 2. Again, you can reduce it to 5:1 or 5 upon 1 as ratio. If it is comparing block with lump, small one. So that's why 5 is bigger. This is in format of proportion. Or if it is asked that of lump with block, the ratio will become upside down. That means it will become 1 upon 5 and the proportion will become 1:5. That you should check which one is asked, which way it is asked. Find the ratio of the weight of the lump of jaggery to that of block. Your answer will be 1:5 in proportion and 1 upon 5 in the ratio format. Understood? So the question should be read thoroughly. Okay, so this is one important thing you should take care that the unit must be same. Sometimes the ratio can be used to write an equation. The last chapter was on equation. You know what is the importance of equation now and how it helps us to solve the problem. So you can use ratios to write an equation. Then it will be easier to solve the problem. Here is a simple example. What is example? A hostel is to be built for school going girls. Hostel बनाने जा रहे हैं. 2 toilets are to be built for every 15 girls. 15 girls, 1 toilet. Another 15, another 1 more toilet. So here there are 75 girls will be living in the hostel. In that situation, we know that it's a multiple of 15. 15 into 5 is equal to 75. We know that 5 toilets will be required. But the question we are attending in the situation of what we say ratio and proportion. And at the same time, how can we create an equation for finding the solution using ratio? So 2 toilets are to be made for every 15 girls, and if 75 girls will be living in the hostel, how many toilets will be required in this proportion? A proportion. What is this proportion here? The proportion over here is 2 per 15. Yeah, 2:15. 2 toilet per 15 girls. So this way of writing it in the proportion format or in the ratio format will help us to solve the situation. So the proportion is 2:15. The ratio is 2 upon 15. Now we know that there are 75 girls. So how many toilets required? That's the question. So we can write this in 2 different ways. Suppose that we don't know the number of toilets required, we don't know. So we will write X number of toilets required. Okay. So in that case we will write, if it is 2, it is 15. Proportionately the ratio should be maintained, then X upon 75, where X is indicating the supposed number of toilets. This is one way of presenting it. So here in this case you will be calculating the number of toilets by calculating the value of X. How to calculate the value of X? You have studied X upon 75 for convenience. We can just write it like this. And to get only x on the left side. We have to remove the 75, which is the denominator. So what we will do? We will multiply both sides with 75. That is what you learned in the equation chapter. So this will get cancelled. X is equal to, now 15 will go 5 times and there will be 10 toilets required. Understood? 10 toilets will be required for 75 girls. So we could convert a ratio into an equation format because the ratio will be maintained. The proportion will be maintained. The question is the proportion to be maintained. 2:15 to be maintained. 2 toilets per 15 girls. 2:15. That is 2 upon 15. This is fixed. So even if you are having n number of girls, the girls number will come here and toilet number will come here. That is what we did. You put it as x for our convenience. So my dear student, this kind of interesting things can be done. So equation is made use of, ratio made use of, proportion made use of. You understood the concept of ratio, you understood the concept of proportion. Now what you have to do? You have to check whether you have understood. How to check? For that you should try to do the sums yourself. Where the sums are? That is in practice set number 28. So you will do practice set number 28 yourself by taking time, without looking into any guide or YouTube or any internet or anybody. You may go wrong. Sometimes you will do mistake. No problem. You are learning. If you are not making mistake while learning, you are not learning. Mistake is the only way to learn. So please do it yourself. Spend enough time. Be confident. Read the textbook. Watch the video again and practice yourself. Thank you. Now click on the subscription button below to subscribe the channel, then the bell button to get the notifications of the new videos. Thank you.